Good evening, you're watching government-funded news. The Prime Minister and his wife have decided to separate, according to statements posted online. In identical messages, the pair announced their separation while emphasizing their desire for privacy, saying, "For the well-being of our children, we ask that you respect our and their privacy." Of course, because Trudeau has always cared so much about keeping his children out of the public eye.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Naturally, the only polite thing to do is to not concern ourselves with the private affairs of MPs. The business of the spouses of MPs is none of ours, even if they did just set up a federal corporation to sell communication services and are now no longer beholden to conflict of interest disclosures thanks to their separation. It doesn't matter, okay? The spouses must be left alone. What's that? Pierre Poilievre's wife still has a job? Well, we better put a stop to that. In other news, Trudeau has declared that it is unacceptable that asylum seekers should be sleeping on Toronto's streets. Well, if it's so unacceptable, why did he cause it? Speaking of sleeping on the streets, the Prime Minister has recently stated that housing isn't a primary federal responsibility. Well, then why is he always campaigning on it?
A Liberal government will prioritize significant new investment in affordable housing. Far too long, a first home has been out of reach for far too many. It's time to change that. And I'll be blunt as well. Housing isn't a primary federal responsibility.
But you just said...
No.
A vote on a controversial bill meant to expand fetal rights in Canada has left the country without a single pro-choice Conservative MP, according to an abortion rights watchdog organization. The Abortion Rights Coalition of Canada last week placed the... Oh, wait a minute. Why are we talking about abortion right now? Isn't this a settled issue? Oh, I think you know why. Because the Liberals are down in the polls? Yes, obviously. Continue. Okay, the Abortion Rights Coalition of Canada placed the last remaining 15 Conservative MPs on its list of anti-choice MPs after they voted in support of Bill C-311, dubbed the Violence Against Pregnant Women Act. Could probably use a better name. I'm being informed that this is actually misinformation, since the act in question has nothing to do with abortion, and the Conservative policy remains to never vote in support of legislation regulating abortion. So that's the opposite of what we just said.
Facts are meaningless. You can use facts to prove anything that's even remotely true. Facts, Max.
The Trudeau government has spent over $20 million on public opinion polls last year.
You serious?
Nearly double what it spent just 3 years ago. The biggest spender was the Public Health Agency of Canada, spending over $4 million on polls about vaccine uptake and Canadians' general views on COVID-19. That's good information to have. If only there was some kind of massive grassroots demonstration where tons of Canadians protested in the capital with overwhelming support on the nation's highways and through funds raised, all to inform the government of Canadians' general views of COVID-19. Man, that would have been really helpful if something like that happened. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for watching Go FU News, and remember, we're Canada's most trusted news source, so you can always count on us to be impartial. Except for when we're not. Good night.